Hey guys, remember episode 27 of this season, season 3, where I talked about what you should be doing at your midpoint check-in? Well, I have created a freebie from that episode. And in that episode, I gave y'all some homework. And I want to know if you did the homework. Email me and tell me, ask@trillingba.com. I'm interested to know if that advice helped you. But if you haven't done the homework, I created a guide to help you get through all the tasks that you need to do in order to set yourself up for success. So head on over to trillingba.com and get your freebie today. You'll also have access to all the other freebies that I've created so far, and you'll also have access to the new ones that are coming. All right, now let's start the show. Welcome to the Trill MBA Show. I'm your host, Felicia Ann Rose Enuha, aka the Trillest MBA you will ever know. And I'm here to help you survive and thrive in corporate America by giving you the truth and being as real as only I can be. Welcome back to the show, you guys. Happy Sunday. Now listen, I got a little story for y'all. Picture it. 3:30 p.m. You just got back to your desk from your 2 o'clock meeting that ran over. You dock your Lenovo ThinkPad and wait for Windows 7 to warm up so you can get into your email because, slavery. So you check your notes from the meeting, trying to figure out if you can get away with not sending a recap email. Because why spend any time and effort on a recap email if nobody's gonna read it? So your computer finally boots up. You open Outlook.
Welcome. You've got mail.
And there are 126 new emails. You wonder why you spent lunch at your desk trying to get your unread emails to 0. You start scanning your inbox to see if there's anything super urgent that sticks out. Then you see the subject in all caps. Need by EOD today! ! You feel your pulse quicken and your eyes squint and you cut them as you see this email is from Mike, your supply chain cross-functional, the one that gets on your last goddamn nerve. You hold your breath as you click to open it fully because it's so fucking long that you can't see it all from the preview pane. Then you start to read it. Felicia, per our conversation yesterday, you were sending me the data that shows each region where we are growing in product overstock. I need this by end of business day today to impact the forecast for Q3. Do you know how to pull this data? It should only take 10 minutes. Let me know if you can't get this to me by 5. Best, Mike. Now, Mike done CC'd your boss. On top of that, Mike don't check his goddamn email because guess what? You sent the data yesterday about 20 minutes after your long-ass meeting. Now, you got 2 choices. You could Michelle Obama this.
Our motto is when they go low, we go high.
Or you could keep that same energy and reply like,
if I wanted to say that, I would have wrote it.
You implied that.
I said what I said.
Okay, well, what you said was some bull.
But
That's
you don't
what
like it. You don't like it.
I sure damn don't like it.
Well, then, what you want me to do? Okay, you don't like it.
yes, this is frustrating. But pause, take a deep breath, and now let's think through our best possible outcome when sending emails. In this episode, I'm going to talk about one of the greatest challenges and banes of our existence as Black women in corporate America. Tone in email. So I'm going to go through this double standard for us and how you need to understand it. Also, why you got this feedback and how it will become a problem if you continue down the path you're going. And then finally, I'm going to end with some rules of email engagement for us. How you need to think through your email communication strategy. And yes, ladies, we all need a strategy. All right, so let's talk about this double standard. I know it sucks, but listen, the whites can say anything in any kind of way, but we can't. Okay, and we never will be able to until, I don't know, Jesus comes back or somehow Michelle Obama does decide to run for president. You know, things that we probably won't see in our lifetime. Now, listen, we will always have to approach communication with humility and humanity. Why, you ask? Well, I'll tell you. Number one, people never assume positive intent when reading emails. Like, no one. Forget gender, forget race. Every time you read an email, it's this immediate jump to your own defense. That's just a human reflex. And I don't know why we start out that way, but we want to always assume the worst. It's really crazy things that human beings do. And this happens even when people know you. I don't know what it is, but if something stirs in their emotions and they feel the need to put up their defenses, there's nothing you can do about this. It is pure human nature, and we're all wired this way. So for example, I was on the phone with a friend who works for a large Fortune 500 company, and she happened to look at an email while we were on the phone, and she was immediately like, grrr. I wish I could say what I want to say. I done told these mofos the answers in my other email, and they just don't read. And I said to her, pause. All right, read his email to me. So she read his email, and then I asked her, did you send the answer to these follow-up questions in your original email? So in other words, are these new questions or are these old questions that you already answered? And then she said, well, actually, no. Okay, fine. I guess my response could be this and that. You know, a quick update that answered his questions. She then said, this is how I know this culture is crazy, because this tone of his email is the way people email around here. But I always have to take the high road. And I was like, yes, because you are not this white man. If you match his energy, then he will take offense. Never seeing that you matched his energy and tone because he doesn't even see that he has tone in his email. So he is blind to how he's talking to her and pretty much everyone when he writes email. but he will not be blind if you pop back.
Why?
I know, right? And it's funny because to him, when he writes, he's just being direct, stating facts and getting to the point because nobody has time to just write all this in email, all these pleasantries and acknowledging your humanity. And no, this is not right. It's just not. But it is what it is for right now. And so even though they don't recognize your humanity when they're writing emails to you, you must recognize their humanity and make them comfortable, even though they never recognized yours. I know that's fucked up. It is. I know. I'm not going to sugarcoat this shit. It's fucked up. It's not fair. But we got to play this game until we can get in positions of influence to affect real change. And secondly, think about it like this. Non-Black people, especially whites, will always read our emails with a level of prejudice and unconscious bias. Because this society is inundated with racism and bias. It's so ingrained that people don't even know that they picked it up. That's why they're always denying their prejudice, bigotry, and bias. You know, you hear, like, I'm not racist. They truly believe they are not racist or bigoted or biased. But you know, that's like me saying, I'm not high after sitting in an enclosed room with Snoop Dogg for a couple hours.
Big Snoop D.O. Dub.
I didn't hit the blunt.
Blood out.
But nigga, you were surrounded by smoke for hours. Your ass is high. I don't care what you say. You got secondhand contact high because you know Snoop's weed is good. So it doesn't matter if you conscientiously passed on toking with Snoop. You smell like smoke. Your clothes are full of smoke. You breathe in and out weed smoke. Guess what? You high. And they racist, whether we like it or not. Okay, Felicia, I get it. I can't match their energy. But I spend so much time crafting these goddamn emails, and I still get this feedback that my tone is off. What the fuck? All right, breathe. After the break, we're going to talk about why you're getting this feedback about your tone and how to start problem solving for it so that it doesn't become a problem, because it will become a problem real quick if you don't nip it in the bud. We'll talk about it when we come back from the break. When I graduated, I knew I was going to take over the world. So how the hell did I get here sitting across from HR saying, well, what are my options? I didn't even have a chance to get a promotion. Are you feeling this way, sis? Trust me, I have been there. You work 10 times as hard and you don't even get close to half as far at work. And the harder you try, the worse your work situation seems to get. But what if I told you that you can turn it all around despite your boss, how he acts today, despite the microaggressions you experience, despite seeing others have success for doing way less work? You can get on the fast track at work too and be seen as high potential performing talent and gain your next promotion. If you are a highly ambitious MBA and you don't feel like your career is moving at the pace you thought it would, I have created the course for you. Win at Work Post MBA. Set yourself up to win over your boss, gain sponsors, and fast track your next job promotion. Go to trillinba.com/courses and schedule your registration call with me. Spots are limited, and I am definitely taking this so seriously to curate the right group of people to work with so that we can all rise together. So it's very important that you schedule your registration call as soon as possible. The course will start in August. Again, trilmba.com/courses and schedule time to talk about what you need to rise and thrive in corporate America. Now back to the show. And we're back. Before the break, I explained to you, yes, we understand there's a double standard. People get to talk to us crazy in emails, but we can't pop back if we do what's best for us in these corporate spaces. Got it. Now, why the hell is my boss sending me emails talking about my tone and she talking to me crazy? Okay, listen. We will never get the benefit of the doubt for now. Again, Michelle might run someday, and I think that's when we might. But for now, we don't. So you got to operate accordingly, right? So let's say you tell me, but Felicia, I've been nice in my emails. I mean, I could have came for these bitches, but I didn't. I was real nice. I don't understand what the problem is. So look here. Here's what I can discern from the last couple of months of talking with y'all on coaching calls. And this is a real trend. Number one, y'all be writing emails as if you are talking directly to the person in person. You can't do that. You're not talking to them. They can't see your facial expressions. They can't see your body language. You sitting up there, trying to make a difficult message light. That never comes across good in email. It just doesn't. It comes across very negative and like you're being sarcastic. It's just not good. And then the other thing is you're not quite self-aware of how people perceive you. So you're not writing with the fact in mind that when people read your email, number one, just because you're a human being, they're not going to give you the benefit of the doubt. In fact, they're going to assume the worst. And on top of that, you got to understand, when they reading the Black girl's email, they read it in the voice of Shaliqua, okay? Like the stereotype that they've seen on TV, like Sita from back in the day on BET.
That's a big baby I am. Yo, sexy gorgeous.
That's how they read your emails in their minds. I guarantee it. Like, I don't have scientific proof, but my gut tells me so, and that's all the proof I need. The other thing is, you really need to understand that you need to write emails as if the email will be seen in a publication, like the New York Times or the Washington Post, or something that like the whole world will see. That's how you need to write your emails, in that frame of mind. Because if you don't, guess what feedback you're going to get? Felicia, I need you to come to the office. We need to have a discussion. Oh, hell, here we go again. Hey, hi, how are you today? You doing good? Yes, I'm good. Great. Have a seat. Okay, you're having a good day today? Yes, today's great. I just wanted to share with you a little feedback that I got. One of your cross-functional partners has, told me that it's been difficult with your email communications. And, I know that you're a great person and you're striving for excellence and you're asking excellence of the team, but I just think that the tone of your emails it's just too harsh. And so you need to soften and, you need to understand that these people, they're, really working hard for our team. And so you have to treat them like you would treat somebody in your family. Bitch, if you knew my family. Oh, okay. Okay, Issa, no, don't say that. Okay, what do I say? Okay. Well, I will work on that. Do you have any examples? Okay, so yes, here's a day you told Sally if she needed some help, you would be glad to come to her desk and show her how to do it. There's a better way you could have phrased that because that makes it seem like you think Sally doesn't know how to do her job. In your head, but that bitch don't know how to do her fucking job. Okay, don't say nothing. Just don't say nothing. Okay, is there any other examples you'd like to share with me? Yes, and so even this email that you sent to me, it was just very direct and it felt like you were demanding me to give you some information. And, I know you and I know that wasn't your intent, but that's the way that I read this email. Like, oh, okay. Well, I will definitely take these examples, Kate, and I will go back and I will do some reflecting and I will continue to work on my tone. And if you could give me any additional real-time feedback about the tone in my emails, please do, because this is something I'm going to be actively working on. That's how you respond to that shit. Like, not the Issa Rae, awkward black girl shit that you said in your head cussing people out. Like, no, leave that in your head. Smile and say that you're going to be working on adjusting your style and tone in your emails, which you are. Because in the next segment, we're going to talk about the rules of engagement for us. And I'm going to lay out to you the things that you should and should not do when you're writing emails so you'll know exactly what your tone is. And if you get this feedback, then you'll really know this some bullshit and y'all trying to come for me. So we'll be right back after this short break. I love when you all leave me reviews on Apple Podcasts. Like, it just makes my whole life so much better. But I have to shout out one particular review that I received recently. The title of it is That Part by Ginger854. And they left this on July 4th, which is a day of rest for us. And Ginger854 says, "It's taken me a moment to write this because I didn't want to leave anything out. I became interested in getting an MBA 2 years ago. Since then, I've been on a complete roller coaster until I found this podcast. Felicia, the host, is not a recent or aspiring MBA giving her 2 cents. She's also not an MBA consultant charging $10K to help you get into school. She's a Black woman dedicated to helping other Black women thrive. She's so real. If you've thought it, she's said it. She can explain it, and she has research and receipts to back her up on the reasons behind the trends we see with Black women in corporate America. From a place of humility, she shares super relevant guidance to help us make it over. Listening to these podcasts, I can't believe it's free and that someone would care this much and be as dedicated to helping us thrive. I've been telling everybody who will listen that this podcast is golden. I quote Trill MBA several times a week. I'm less distracted by the social pollution at work and more than ever motivated to stay focused on my journey to be my best self. Felicia, thank you for this show. May God bless you in your going out and coming in. So much love to you. I can't wait to see your next boss move." You guys, I love you guys. Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Listen, I do this show because I have been through a lot in my life. And if I can help save you from some of the unnecessary BS, then that's what this show is all about. And if I can inspire you to keep going and keep trying and keep working hard, because sometimes you just want to stop and lay down and quit. But if I can keep you from quitting, I can get you over these humps. Just imagine how many Black women will be at the top of corporate America in the next couple years. Listen, what I need you to do is go on over to trillandba.com. I've got some freebies that I'm going to be giving out in August, but you got to be on my email list. And I want to make sure you guys get everything that I can give. I'm going to leave it all out on the table for y'all. I love you guys. I appreciate you. And thank you for listening. Please, if you have any questions, concerns, email me, ask@trillandba.com. I am always down to help us. Now, let's get back to the show. All right, we're back. Now, you've gotten this feedback tone, talked about it in the last segment. And I know it feels like bullshit. And most of the time it is, right? Because as a people, we usually leave folks alone until you come for us when we didn't send for you. And so when you get this feedback, it's probably because you reacted in email to the bullshit that somebody sent you. But best believe they're never going to get called on their shit. They're always going to get to talk to you crazy. And when you pop back, you're going to find yourself in a situation. And we don't want that. So here I'm going to lay out 11 or 12 rules. So rule number 1, know your audience. Okay? If you are writing to your boss or higher up, keep the email short, sweet, and to the point. Don't forget that sweet part. All of it should be sweet. If it is something that you have to say that's a negative message, or not necessarily a negative message, but a message you know would be hard to hear, like let's say you have to tell them, oh, sales are down this week. Avoid putting that in an email if you can. Go talk to your boss and ask, what is the best way to couch this? And that's if you don't know already how to couch it. If you know how to couch it, do your thing. But if you're like, whoa, I really just want to say, yo, our sales are down, then go have a conversation with your boss, get some advice and counsel on how to make that a more positive sounding message, even though the information is not the best information that you want to share. Number 2, write like you are going to send this to the entire company, including the CEO. So write emails as if everybody's going to see it, because guess what? Emails can be forwarded, they can be printed out, and they can be put on the web. Like once you put that in email, anybody has the opportunity to see it. And whoever you sent it to has the opportunity to share it. So you always want to keep that in mind. Also, the third thing, keep it professional. Even if you're emailing your work BFF, like don't curse, even though you want to. Don't use like WTF and stuff that means curse words. Don't put asterisks. Don't do any of that. Always keep everything on the up and up. If you want to say something naughty or raunchy to your work BFF, say, hey, meet me in the cafe for a quick chat or something like that. But don't ever write anything in email, because it goes back to the last rule. Anybody can see it. Okay? So rule number 4, don't use emojis or any symbols or signs that can be misinterpreted, because you just never know. And here's the deal. For the longest time, I thought that eggplant emoji just meant eggplant. I didn't know. And I won't even tell you the situation I found myself in because I put an eggplant in an email. I know, y'all. I know. See, this is why I do this show. Shit I didn't know. All right. Number 5. Limit your company acronyms when possible, especially when you know someone is new and they may not know what you're talking about. Because that comes off as you being a bitch. So, I mean, it just is what it is. But if you need to use an acronym, spell it out first if you know what it is. Only use it if, like, you know that everybody on your email knows exactly what it is and it makes life easier, then fine. But really evaluate when you use company acronyms. Number 6, don't go back and forth on email. Stop doing that. You ain't doing nothing but digging a bigger hole for yourself. Because that Becky or that Bob you going back and forth with, they're going to use that against you. They're going to say it was you. You're never going to win that fight, okay? I don't care how nice you are. I don't care if they're going back and forth and they're okay with going back and forth with you. And y'all are having a discussion about, either whose job something was, or they're trying to convince you to do something you can't do, or whatever. When it's something contentious, do not go back and forth. It's not going to end well for you. Pick up the phone. Go over to their desk. They need to see more communication touch points from you than just email. 70% of our communication is nonverbal. Email takes a lot of that away and allows people's imagination to fill in the rest. You don't want that. Because why? Slavery. All right. Number 7. Always write in the affirmative or in the positive. And write as if you're assuming positive intent, even when you know Becky and Bob are coming for you. So, for example, let's say your boss asks you to do something by XYZ time, and you're like, I can't turn that around that fast. So that's negative, right? Like, I can't do it. What you reply to her in the email is like, I understand you need this. I'm happy to help. I just need to understand how you want me to prioritize, project A over this project. Or what might be better is if you go over to her desk real quick and say, hey, I'm happy to do this. I just want to understand timing and prioritization. Can you let me know if the project A I'm working on is still priority over this, or if you want me to stop doing this and to start working on this? Knowing it's a tight window for both, let's make sure we give the appropriate time to get everything done with excellence.
Blood hell.
See, it's not, I never said no.
Wow.
Just always positive. Which comes to my next rule. Never say no. Never say no in email. Never write the word no. Unless it just is quick and it makes sense and it's not a negative thing. No problem. But avoid the word no anyway, because it can always be misconstrued. So instead of saying, no, you're right, just say, yeah, you're right. Like, don't say no. Number 9, choose carefully when you reply all. And try not to use reply all if you don't have to. Because sometimes people over there, CYA. If you're in a company culture where everything is a reply all, cover your ass, you start looking for another job. That's too fucking stressful and unnecessary and stupid. What you need to do is discern, does everybody on this email communication need to know the response or need to know that I responded? Then you reply all. If not, Take the people off who don't need it and only put on copy who needs to know. Make your life and their lives easier. So carefully choose when you reply all. Number 10, do not, and I repeat, do not defend yourself over email. Stop it. Why? Because you're not going to win. And the only thing you're going to do is look defensive and entitled and bratty. And if you're a millennial, they're going to call you a millennial. Even if you're not a millennial, they're going to say that you lack emotional intelligence. So you're going to get worse feedback. So you're going to get the tone feedback, but then you're also going to get the, lacking communication skills feedback and emotionally immature feedback or lacking executive presence. Yeah, girl, they got all kinds of funky feedback terms that sound ambiguous as hell. But that's what they mean because you defended yourself in email. So keep it positive. And if you feel the need to defend yourself, go have conversations. Do not do it over email. And the last rule, number 11, always allow people to save face. This will take you a long way. So for example, your coworker tries to throw you under the bus and she writes this long email and recaps. And then she basically says some shit like, yeah, and this last thing should be coming from the team, i.e. from you, because everybody knows that you are the person responsible for this last task. And unbeknownst to her, you already did it. She just ain't paid attention. Now you have two options. You can reply all and say, yes, I have already done that yesterday and it is available XYZ here, and make her look stupid and not on her P's and Q's. Or you can take everybody off copy. You can reply to her and say, hey, Jessica, I actually already did that and it's in this spot and you actually have access to it now. And so does the whole team. I just wanted to let you know. And hopefully next time you can ask me before you send communication, making it seem like I haven't done my job. Yeah. See, the second one, allowing Jessica to save face, is the right thing to do. Because you never know when you're going to need Jessica's ass, even though she a pain in the ass sometimes. She knows some things. So, listen, at the end of the day, we all got to get information, ladies. As Beyonce said,
always stay gracious. Best revenge is your paper.
All right. So those are the rules for email communication. If you have any questions about this episode or you're struggling with your email tone, I want you to do me a favor and go to trillandba.com/coaching and schedule a free 30-minute consultation with me so that we can strategize and walk through your specific situation with your tone in your emails. In addition, you can always email me at ask@trillandba.com. I'm happy to either answer your question or connect you to the right person if I don't have the answer. Again, that's trillandba.com/coaching to schedule a free 30-minute consultation with me. Or you can email me at ask@trillandba.com to submit your question or concern or any kudos or how the show has helped you or anything positive. I love those emails. I appreciate everyone who sends me an email telling me how helpful this show is to you. That just blesses me every time. So I appreciate you guys for listening to the show every week. Until next time, keep it trill. The Trill NBA Show is a Fair World Corp LLC production, executive produced by Felicia and Rose Inuha. Sound design and editing by Chris Mann with Podshaper. Theme music is Kick Push by Ryan Little. Keep it trill every day, y'all.